Good morning. Today is day 14 of our 40-day yoga challenge. And if you're new to viewing this series, know that it is in no consecutive order for any reason whatsoever. So feel free to just pick and choose any of the videos in this series that you see fit. This is partly my practice, and so it's different every day depending on what I'm feeling like. Sometimes the practices are 10 minutes and sometimes they're 45 minutes. So it really depends on how much time I have. But the most important thing is coming to the mat and actually creating that consistency in your life, and that consistency will radiate into everything in every area of your life. So my thought for today is that I think lots of things happen in our lives and we start saying, poor me. Why is this happening to me? Or that person did this to me. And so today my thought for you is to change those words into empower me. Allow this situation in my life, even though I don't like it, to empower me rather than poor me. And our outlook on anything in life really will decide our outcome. And so when we think about what we're seeing, if we can step back and say, can I see this differently? Is there something I'm missing? Usually really great things come from it. I'm finding a lot of transition in my life, which there always is. But I find occasionally it's like, I'm afraid of it and I don't want to do it and it's scary because it's different. Because it's not the pattern I've been creating and it's not the consistency that I've been trying to create. But that different could in fact be the thing or what I need to get me to where I want to go. So if you're in your life currently right now and you're saying, poor me, I don't like my job, I don't like where I live, I'm not happy, I want to get married, or I want to get divorced, I want to have kids, or I want to move to a different state, or I want to lose weight, whatever it is, stop saying poor me and start looking at those things and say, okay world, okay universe, okay creator, empower me. Empower me in those areas so that I can see what I'm not seeing, so that I can do what maybe I'm not doing, so I can find the strength to move forward in however and wherever I need to go. So in that honor, you will need some hand weights today. And if you don't have hand weights, water bottles filled with sand or rice work great. Also soup cans work really nicely, or even just a water bottle that hasn't been opened. That way the cap won't pop off. Otherwise, hand weights work great. You can usually get them pretty cheap at Walmart or Kmart or whatever your local store is. And then also you'll need a mini ball. So if you don't have a mini ball, we do sell them on my website. And I really like this particular mini ball because it is university tested for its fabric and also for the pressure and the weight. So it's rated to withstand 350 pounds. But if you don't have this ball, you don't have the time to go on my website and check it out, just go again to your local store, and they usually sell these in the fitness section. All right, let's begin here with your hand weight. So hand weight etiquette, whenever I teach a yoga class with weights, I like to have people hold the weight with their thumb fingertips extended. Reason being is that when we grip a weight, if you've ever watched people in a gym, they tend to get so aggressive in their grip that they're really wasting a lot of energy that could be circulating through their body to really give them a great practice. So again, loose grip, fingertips extended. Know that you can work this whole practice without weights today. So just the movement and the breath of the practice is still part of the practice itself. So let's stand in Tadasana, spread your toes, neutral pelvis, and actually you know what? Grab your green ball. Block will work too if you don't have a ball today. Just stick that between your inner thighs. So the line of the core starts at the feet. So ground through your feet, neutral pelvis, a little bit of glute recruitment because the pelvic floor is strong. Now arms extend, palms forward, stand tall without thrusting the chest. Exhale, curl, and inhale, extend. Nice, no rounding forward. Exhale. Every time you exhale, the contraction is actually coming from your midsection, coming from that deep transversus and pelvic floor. So it's not just my arm contracting, it's really my core contracting and then my arm contracting. Exhale, inhale, extend. See if you can actually keep the fingertips coming straight forward rather than out to the side. Exhale, curl. Nothing is squeezing, everything is active and alive and alert. Exhale. Knees are never locked, we don't lock a joint. Exhale, curl. Exhale, 2, nice job. And exhale, 1. Awesome. Now turn the fingertips out to the sides. So if I turn sideways, make sure you're not throwing the chest forward in order to open the shoulders. A good chance that there's probably something going on in your thoracic area that doesn't allow you to do such a thing. Exhale, curl, and inhale, extend. So imagine yourself in your toaster, only because I want you to really keep the arms extended out to the sides. So we're kind of working a little bit with the rotator, but also trying to develop bicep, deltoid, and upper traps. Exhale, curl. This is a good challenge for most people because we tend to want to hunch and sag. Exhale, curl. Legs are still long. Exhale. When you start to learn more about the body, you start to understand that just because I'm focusing on my arm with a weight doesn't mean that my core, my legs, or the rest of my body isn't involved. Exhale, curl. 2 more. Exhale, curl. Last one, exhale, curl. Nice job. Release the arms. Roll the shoulders. Just forward and back. Create that movement without being forceful. Awesome. And then remove your green ball. Drop your weights to the floor. Step out into a modest straddle where the toes are on a slight angle. So rule of thumb, the tighter your hips are, the more forward your feet have to be. We really want to be able to honor the knee. When the knee collapses in any sort of squat, that usually means that the sacrum is being thrown forward and the pelvic floor and glutes are not creating the relationship they need to turn on appropriately. So just try not to force. Exhale, lower into your squat, hands on your thighs. So let yourself, in a sense, sink into your shoulders. I call this catcher stretch. Really the openness through the pelvis, ground through your feet. Now lean your left shoulder in and pull your right shoulder back. Look over your right shoulder. So I'm using my thigh and my hand, pressing open. So a nice stretch to my side body, and then dipping the shoulder to really open and stretch through the upper back. And then inhale, come through center. Exhale, dip in as you turn through the head. Breathe. My left shoulder is definitely tighter. And if maybe you weren't expecting some weighted work today, again, not pour me, empower me. Breathe. We only can do what we can do, and it's usually us, the practitioner, that has to learn to be okay with that. Exhale, inhale, open the torso, exhale, and back to center. Nice, draw yourself up, and again, roll the shoulders open. Awesome, grab your hand weights. In traditional squat, so again, watch the feet. As you slide down, traditional squat will allow you to be more upright. If you feel like the knees are collapsing and the pelvis is really flaring forward, shorten your stride, and again, turn the toes more forward. Arms out in front, palms face in, draw your shoulders back, support your shoulder girdle, push down into the balls of the feet, almost like your heels are sliver lifted. That should create more action again in the glutes and hamstrings. Inhale, rise up, only as high as you can eliminate the chest flaring forward. Inhale, and exhale. Notice if the shoulders do anything funky, and try to only lift as high as you can keep the shoulder girdle cooperating. Sink into your hips. Breathe. Every breath is an arm movement. Inhale and exhale. A nice stretch and strengthen combination here. Lengthening through the back muscles, opening through the shoulders, and trying to create some core support. Breathe laterally, meaning more into your side lungs. Pelvic floor engages, especially on the exhale. So the goal is that we like to get that pelvic floor to become more automatic, that it's active and turning on. Make sure your shoulders aren't doing anything kind of awkward when you try to lift. So your lift may be here, and that's okay. 3 more. Anytime we come overhead, we are raising our heart rate. Resist gravity on the downfall. And last one, nice job. Cactus arms, palms forward for the hammer curl. Exhale, curl in, and inhale, extend out. So I'm not pinching my shoulders, but rather feeling them engage downward. Keep the elbows at shoulder level, not to swing forward or back. Again, press into the balls of the feet. Sink a little deeper. I can still do this without hand weights. So keep going here. I can contract and extend as I move. So we learn through yoga, at least through my yoga, that a prop should not make you the pose, meaning the prop should enhance or be even more. But I should also be able to use my body even without that hand weight. Let's just go 2 more. Last one. And lower the arms, lengthen up through the legs, turn your feet parallel, and now turn out with the left toes and in with the right toes, level through the hips, warrior 2. Back thigh is strong, never locked. Foot is firmly planted on the floor. Bend the front knee, and again, keep the knee from sinking in. Activate the outer and lower legs, glutes. Arms are in front, palms facing me. Inhale, kick out to T, palms facing back. Exhale, lower with control. Push into the front foot, inhale. And exhale, engage through the deep core. You can keep my head forward. Inhale and exhale. Nice little tricep kick up. Inhale and exhale. Shoulders should not creep up and roll forward. Awesome. Inhale. I have an order in a practice like this. So first the breath, then the asana, then the arm movement. So if you get so caught up with the arm movement that you forget what you're doing, I want you to slow down. 3 more. Last one. Hands to prayer. Lengthen through the front leg, back into traditional squat. Toes turn slightly out, drop into your hips, inner core and pelvic floor is strong. Awesome. Interlace the fingers now, bringing the arms up, drop your shoulders, try not to flare the ribs. Keep the arms internally rotating. So now, inhale, bend your elbows, drop your shoulders, elbows tight to the head. Exhale, pelvic core, extend your arms. And exhale, again, drop, drop, drop through the upper shoulders, contract through the outer legs. Inhale, breathe into your lungs, exhale. Five more. Remember, keep your foundation. Sink a little deeper. Last one. And all the way down with control. Draw up through the legs. Turn in with your back foot to some sort of an angle. And turn out with your front foot. Now level the hips. And the openness of the pelvis has to be relative to the willingness of the pelvis. So bend the front knee. Adjust your front foot accordingly. Heel to center arch is ludicrous. Our bodies, very few people can actually work that type of alignment. And not only many people end up just throwing their body where it doesn't belong. So keep the hips level. Thighs strong, not locked. Foot feels very firmly planted. Palms face your pelvis. Relax your shoulders. Keep the outer leg opening. Inhale, kick open. And exhale, engage and rise up. Exhale. Keep the chest and torso open towards me. Inhale, open, and exhale. 5 more. Last one. Now, if you're noticing any sort of upper glute clenching or pain, you might notice your pelvis tipping too far forward, or you're not allowing the lower glutes and pelvic floor to turn on enough. So then a neighboring muscle will start to over-contract. Inhale, lengthen through the front leg, turn the feet parallel. Now turn to the opposite side and come all the way to the floor runner's lunge. Set your weights down, lift your hips, and step back into plank. Step your feet as wide as your yoga mat. If you need to, drop your knees to the floor without sinking your pelvis. So all you're doing is cutting off the shin, but the alignment should all stay the same. Folds of the elbows forward, back body feels broad and very anchored. Now inhale, shift your weight towards the left arm without sitting into the shoulder. Tuck the opposite hand behind. Hold and breathe. If you like to, take a weight. Keep the body square with the floor. Exhale, lower that arm down, pause, lift through the core, downward facing dog, shake out the head, breathe deeply. You know your shoulder girdle's all jammed up, move into puppy dog.
Inhale deeply, high to the balls of the feet. Exhale, lift as you roll into plank. Open your feet as wide as your yoga mat. As I shift kindly onto my right arm, know that I can also drop to my knees, especially if you're very asymmetrical. Keep the fold of the elbow forward, torso square with the floor. Either lift the arm or grab the weight and lift the arm, palm up. Square it down, breathe. The more pelvic floor, the less hip flexor. Exhale, lower that hand down. Knees to the mat, sit back. Soften your shoulders and breathe deeply. Rise up, roll the toes under, low heel squat. So bring the feet above hips distance, drop through your heels, wiggle your sit bones free, and curve your body forward, drop your head. Now rock back down to the knees and come into rabbit. Tuck the chin tight, rock towards the back of the head, and open through the neck. Now either hands on the floor or interlace the fingers. Exhale, lower back, and then roll yourself up. Awesome, grab your green ball. So about 405 times more effective than doing floor core work, but also for many of us, we're doing things like boats or V sit-ups or crisscross, all of those types of things, and we're really confusing deep core work for the hip flexors. Now the hip flexors have a really important use and purpose, therefore moving the leg. And so when we understand that there's a foundation beyond the movers in our bodies, then we find that movements become easier, more effective, and we have less pain. And so let's try to incorporate this green ball. Take it behind the sacrum, wedge it tightly. It's not that it's under your backside, but it definitely won't roll away. If you know that you're a hip flexor user in any type of core work, or you just get a lot of groin pain, I highly recommend either putting a rolled towel or a block or another ball between the thighs. That inner thigh engagement will just lessen the hip flexor and increase pelvic core work. So know that that's always available to you. It's not that you're any less of a person. Again, not poor me, but empower me. Grab your hand weights. Sitting nice and tall, slight pelvic tilt to really incorporate that deep core and feel in the lower front abdomen a nice strong contraction. Keeping the knees staying vertical. Now if you're really feeling hip flexor pain, drop the knees even slightly out. So for some people, that may allow you to kind of get where you need to be. Keep the spine long, we should never hunch around. Draw the arms up in front and plug your shoulders back, 1 degree bend in the elbow. Inhale here, exhale, just reconfirm the pelvic core. Inhale, draw back about 45 degrees. Let's go with a nice little hammer curl here in front. Exhale, curl, elbows stay shoulder height. Inhale, you should feel this in that deep transversus muscle bracing you. Exhale, pelvic floor. Inhale, no hunching or collapsing. Exhale, stay upright and alert. Exhale, chin is down. 5 more. Nice job. Inhale, exhale, draw up through the strength of your belly. Lower your weights, draw your knees wide, sit tall, and exhale, bow forward. Again, I'm not forcing, I'm allowing. Just move to the place that you feel and breathe. Exhale, roll yourself up. Awesome, bring the knees together. Here we go again. Feel free, use that prop in between the thighs. I'm a huge prop fan as long as it enhances us to a better understanding and we become more effective. But it's not the reason, if that makes sense. It's kind of like in life when we think that because we're with somebody, our life is good, or because I have this thing in my life, I'm going to be better off. And really, that's just taking us away from our true self. So stay in you and stay on your mat. All right, arms out in front, plug your shoulders back. Little pelvic tilt, deep core is strong. Extend yourself back without arching or pushing your belly out. Keep that nice strong contraction inward. Relax the shoulders. We'll work with arm circles. Doesn't have to be huge. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Think about your obliques kicking in. You can go slightly larger as long as you don't start losing the shoulder girdle stability. Keep breathing. Inhale to initiate the circle. Exhale to complete the circle. Let's go 2 more. Keep the back of the neck long. Last one. And now reverse it. Inhale. Exhale, pelvic core. Slowly start to make them smaller. Nice job. Deep breath in, draw up through your transversus, and lower the arms down. Move your ball slightly away from your sacrum. And now with the ball behind your lower back, just extend and arch the small of your back. Arms come overhead. If you know that you're someone with a flatter spine, this is a great way to bring that curvature back in. Inhale through the nose. It may be slightly uncomfortable if your body's not used to curving its spine in this direction. Move the legs in and out, so internal rotation, external rotation, just trying to loosen the hip joint. Inflate your lungs. For many of us, we have the notion and understanding that we always have to be doing something in order to be effective. But sometimes the most effective things are just learning to be patient and still. Bend your knees, release your arms down, lift your hips, and move the green ball underneath your sacrum. Hopefully your hand weights aren't too far away, mine aren't too bad. And now neutral your pelvis. So pubis bone and hip bones are parallel with the ceiling. Adjust your back body so you feel relaxed. You only need 1 hand weight or no hand weight at all. So I traditionally do this without a hand weight, but since we have it here, we're going to use it. Let's say left hand comes behind the head. Keep your elbow wide, and then weight in your palm. Let's go palm face up and little bend in the elbow. You can otherwise have that hand palm in or down. I'll leave it up to you. But with the weight, it's just a lot less stress on that shoulder joint. Inhale, pelvic core is strong. Exhale. Rise up through the head and shoulders. I'm trying to lift to the bottom of my shoulder blades without collapsing my chest. So my eye line is towards the ceiling more than anything. Now lift your hand weight, slight bend in the elbow. Inhale. Exhale, curl over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, my pelvis is very steady and I'm not squeezing the glutes and dropping the lower back. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. You should feel some contraction on your side. So if I bring my hand to my side, I can just know, okay, I feel that oblique turned on. Arm stays hip and shoulder level. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, hips are steady. Pelvic core is strong. It's easy just to do the movement and we feel hollow here. I don't want you to feel hollow there. I want you to feel solid and contracted. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then lower down, turn the head side to side. Switch sides. Again, palm up if you're using a hand weight. And behind the head, elbow wide, deep breath in. Exhale, engage the pelvic core, lift. Arm lifts, inhale, exhale. Keep the green ball steady. You're going to try to go for 10. If you can do 5 really effectively, awesome. Keep breathing. One more. And lower down. Awesome. Again, turn the head side to side. We are going to work with 2-to-1 ratio, so if you know you have a weaker oblique, many of us do, Feel free to go back to that side. That's going to be the side with the hand weight or the side that you're pumping on. Otherwise, do 5 and 5. So if you feel like that felt pretty symmetrical, then feel free to do 5, drop the hand weight, go to the other side. Hand behind the head. Just keep an upper back is broad. I'm going to go back to my left side today. It just feels not quite as strong. I have more of a mind gap on my left side, it seems, today. All right, lift the head and shoulders. Elbow is wide. Relax the shoulders, even though they're lifted. Exhale and inhale. You could also have a block or a ball between the thighs. 5 more. Last one. And to center. Nice job. Turn the head side to side. Bring the knees into your chest. And then slide the legs out. And just drop your hips side to side, almost like you're going to half fall off the ball. Awesome. Bend your knees, lift your hips, or move the ball. Come onto your back, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a nice rock side to side, really stretch through your sit bones and glutes. Get that tissue moving and alive. For an area that we sit on and smush all day, we really want to start bringing those muscles from being dormant to being very much alive. And then slow yourself down. Arms come overhead. Lengthen and arch the back. Dig your shoulders into the earth. Arch your spine away from the floor. Slide your left leg out. Bring your right leg in. Just a nice little compression. Leg comes across the body. Hop your hips to stack them. And then allow the knee to float towards the opposite side of the floor. Pin your elbows. Turn your upper back. And just come into a nice reclined twist. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Feel free to play with the arm placement. And what feels most effective, cactus works really nice too. And then back to center. Give yourself a nice hug. And then switch legs. Knee comes into the chest. Feel long and open through the opposite groin. Draw the leg across the body. Use those toes for help, to help hop the hips that extra little bit. And then pin your elbows and turn your torso to the left so you feel very broad in the upper body. Only bring the leg across to the point where you feel it's most appropriate. And then back to center, readjust, knees into the chest. Draw your legs out and your arms overhead. Let's come into a nice little pentacle pose, Shavasana. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. I am empowered. Not in a way where we think that we're better than others, but rather we can be better than we were yesterday. Slowly come back, and the knees into the chest. Relax side to side. Know that you can stay in relaxation as long as you need to. And then turn yourself off to one side. Use your hand for help. Roll your body up and come to a seated position. So as you move forward out into your day or into your evening to the next day, I want you to remember one very important thing. when we think to ourselves, oh, poor me, I want you to look at that situation, look at what's happened or what you're thinking and say, how can I use that in the situation to empower me, to actually grow deeply, and maybe to step outside my comfort zone. Maybe life is forcing me at this point to do something out of character in order to help you grow radically. From my heart to yours, from my soul to yours, thank you for joining me on my mat. Until I see you again, which I hope is soon, live your best yoga ever. Namaste.